Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through the Ring Magazine ratings that have been released this week, just to go over them and see where everyone stands. So we'll start with the pound for pound rankings. Number 1, Terence Crawford. 2 is Alexander Usyk. 3, Inoue. 4, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He's just been moved up from number 6 after beating Kio Martinez dominantly in Saudi in the weekend. So he's there. Bivol, Beterbiev, they're locked in at 5 and 6. Nakatani 7. Devin Haney at 10. And Canelo has been removed. First time he's been out of the rankings since the drug test issue in 2018. But yeah, he's been a pretty mainstay there for over a decade now. So it's like weird to not see him in there, really. But yeah, we will move on to heavyweight now. The heavyweight on here. He's retired. He hasn't beaten a boxer in years. Yeah, not great. Fabio Wardley at 2. Obviously, I think Wardley should be one above where they are. Kawhi at 3. Parker at 4. Dubois at 5. I think Dubois should be above Parker. That's just me. Hrgovic 6. Zhang 7. Bakoli at Tower and a Jagbar. I think a Jagbar and Bakoli should switch around. Pretty much everyone who watched that fight thought a Jagbar won. So, you know, that fight with Bakoli is what it is, though. Cruiserweight. Now, there's some interesting news here. Jai Patai's champion. He's fighting Hussein Zinkara in a couple of weeks' time. Mandatory defense. And then you got Zerdo at 1. He's fighting number 9, Robin Safar here. Is a keep busy fight as he prepares to fight David Benavidez in May. So yeah, that should be interesting. You got Benham Smith there. Shizlak at 3. Ryan Rozicki, Badou Jack and Noel McCadian. They're rematching soon. A couple of weeks' time for the WBC title. I think the winner of that fight, especially if it's Badou Jack, will end up fighting Jai Pataya. Then you got Peralta, Mosquea, Robin Safar, who you mentioned, and Vidal Riley, who God knows what's going on with his career. But yeah, not the deepest of divisions, but yeah, that's cruiserweight for you. 175 now. Bivol's your champion. Beterbiev at 1. They're probably going to have a trilogy fight, sorry. Don't know if that's actually going to happen, though. Bivol's been out injured. Benavidez just beat Yard. He's been dropped down 1, but of course he's just moving up in weight, so it's a cruiserweight, so who knows what's going to go on with his ranking. Cannon Smith's there at 3. Albert Ramirez at 4. Smith's meant to fight the number 6, Morrell, but God knows what's happening with that. Morrell, there is a situation where he could fight for the WBC title, so who knows. Iman Kasiev, he's back in a couple of weeks fighting Adam Deans. Joshua Buatsi just just won a decision against Zach Parker that many thought he lost. Yeah, I don't think he'll be rising above number 8 anytime soon. Alexander Vosdik, and then Woody Hutchinson. So yeah, we'll move to super middle now. There's a couple of reports out of Mexico that they're going to rematch. Not a fight I need to see, but I understand why. You know, it's a big money fight for Crawford, and he's at that age where he's going to take as much money as he can. Iglesias at number 2. He's rumoured to be fighting Bruno Sirach in January. And Billy at 3, he's rumoured to be fighting Jaime Munguia in January. So there are a couple of decent fights. Lester Martinez is back in March on a pro box show. Of course, he drew with Billy in September. Diego Pacheco's there, number 5. He's fighting Kevin Lele Sadra. Resendez, he's rumoured to be fighting Belanga. And Plant's rumoured to be fighting Charla. You got Shiraz there. He's sort of out in the cold a little bit. I don't know who he's going to fight. And then William Scholes fighting Jacob Bank. So yeah, that's your super middleweights. Middleweight now. Janabek is 1. He's unifying with Lara, who's not even ranked because he's so inactive. Carlos Adama's 2. Yoeli Hernandez 3. Troy Isley at 5. Aaliyah at 6. McKenna at 7. Amo Williams, he's the IBF mandatory, so he'll be ordered to fight the winner of Janabek against Lara. and that'll be next. And then Denzel Bentley, he's meant to be fighting Idris Avadra in a WBO eliminator, but that's been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. So I don't know if that's going to happen. 154 now. Virgil Ortiz just beat Erickson Lubin. God knows what's happening with him. Nobody knows. Sebastian Fundora, God knows what's happening with him. He's meant to be rematching Keith Thurman, I think, or not rematching, rearranging the fight with Keith Thurman. There's rumours of that in January. Majramov, I don't know how the hell he's ranked at 3 still. Hasn't won a fight in nearly 2 years. Lost conclusively to Ortiz and Crawford. Like, they're not bad losses, but like 3, seriously. Mitch Rosaliev, he's fighting Josh Kelly. Xander Zayas is at 5. He's unifying with a number 9, Abbas Barral. WBO, WBA. 6 is Jaron Ennis. Now, this is an example of the ring rankings not being very good. Or not being very consistent, shall I say. Because beating Ismail Lima in a round does not make you a top 10 super welterweight based on your super welterweight work. It's the same organisation that said Sonny Edwards, or more specifically, if I can get my words out, Bam Rodriguez couldn't fight for a ring title because he'd only beaten Christian Hernandez at flyweight. So yeah, you know, he hasn't done anything at super welterweight really during this, even though I think he's a fantastic fighter, obviously. You know, there's inconsistencies with the ring ratings as well, even though people don't like to act like there are. Brandon Adams at 7. He's meant to be fighting Kevin Agayako in an IBF eliminator, so that should be funny. Jesus Ramos, another inconsistency with the ring ratings. He's fighting at middleweight for an interim title in a few weeks. He hasn't made the 154 limit since he lost to Lubin, and that was in September 2023. So yeah, great. He's still ranked there. Then obviously Barral we've mentioned, and Serhii Boychuk lost to Brandon Adams again. I don't know what's happening with him. So we will move on to an absolutely hilarious division. Devin Haney's number 1 at welterweight. Brian Norman's number 2. Stanionis is number 3. Giovanni Sanchion's number 4, even though he's moved up, or he's going to move up. I think it says a lot about a division when 2 of the top 3 are coming off of pretty one-sided losses. Yeah, it's not a great division welterweight right now. I think it's quite weak. I think Haney's obviously a very good fighter, but at rest, it's not very good. You got Rohan Palenko there as well. He's a decent prospect, but he is a prospect at the moment. Giasov's WPA mandatory. He's meant to fight Rolly. Rocha at 7. Raul Carrillo at 8. They're rematching. Jack Catcher at 9. Mario Barris at 10. Yeah, I don't know where Mario Barris is going. He's meant to fight Ryan Garcia, isn't he? And then you got Roddy Romero and Lewis Crocker as your champions that aren't even ranked. Yeah, it's just a car crash of a division, really. Not great. 140 now, champion Teofimo. He beat Josh Taylor. He was the ring champion. So that's why he's champion, obviously. Hitchens is at 1. Subriel Matias at 2. He's tested positive for a PED, but apparently it's not or it's not enough to get him suspended by New York State Athletic Commission. So I'm not going to pretend to be some sort of scientist or chemist. I just think it's very, very dodgy. Think of that what you will. I'm not qualified to talk about it, but yeah, I just think a lot of peds in boxing are allowed. But yeah, Puello is meant to fight the winner of that fight. That was a very close fight. Him and Matias. Matias is meant to fight Hooser at 4. Like, what are we doing? Gary Antoine Russell's a better fighter. He's rearranged his fight against Andy Hirioka for next year. Ohashi announced that. Sandor Martin's fighting in Bilbao in a couple of weeks and to keep busy. And you've got Smith, Adam Azim, Lindolfo Delgado, who lost to Gabriel Golaz, but got a gift in that fight, got dropped in the last round. couple of weeks ago. He's fighting. Well, that was an IBF eliminator, so he'll be mandatory for Hitchens. And then Andy Hirioka at 10. Lightweight now, Shakur Stevenson at 1, Gervonta Davis at 2. Yeah, it's a mess. The Davis situation, I'm not going to speak on that, but Shakur was meant to be moving up to fight Tio at 140. Good fight. Ray Murataya is fighting the number 5, Andy Cruz. Williams Apeda's at 4. I don't know what he's doing. Abdullah Mason just beat Sam Oakes to win the WBO title in a very close fight. So he's at 6. Schofield just iced Tevin Farmer, but got injured, broke his hand. I think he's rescheduling a fight with Jojo Diaz for some reason. You got Dennis Moranchek still hanging about, and Lucas Bardi. Yeah, weird division. Got a couple of like elite names, and then yeah. 130 pounds now. Oshaki Foster's fighting Stephen Fulton on the same card as Janabek and Lara in a couple of weeks' time. Navarrete's unifying with Nunes. Kukachi, God knows what's happening with him. He sort of had the fight scheduled with Ray Ford, pulled out. Obviously, he vacated his title to give it to Nunes, beat Lee Wood, and then nothing's happened, really. Lamont Roach is at 4 again, an inconsistency. He hasn't made 130 in almost 18 months. So, yeah, you know, it's what it is. Obviously, Nunes, Conte Sal, I think he just fought in Brazil. Hernandez, I don't know what's happening with him. Suarez, he's WBO mandatory. Raymond Ford could be the best fighter in this division, but it's just like annoying. Yeah, he just beat Abraham Nova in August, and nothing's been said about him since. Like, he should be out in January, fighting Zoltan Zalabek, I think, for an IBF eliminator. But yeah, and then Jazza Dickens, he's meant to fight Hayato Tatsumi in December on the Riyadh card, headlined by Inoue. Featherweight now. This mess. Rafael Espinoza should beat Arnold Kagai, pointless fight, and he's probably going to have to fight Elijah Pierce, who's fighting this weekend, final eliminator for the WBO. Angelo Lee is at 2. He's fighting Lorato Lamini, and then he's going to have to fight Reese Aleem, who's just won an IBF eliminator. Number 3 is Nit Bull. He's going to have to fight Brandon Figueroa. Number 7. Fulton's moving up. Lopez, I don't know what's happening with. Bruce Carrington, God knows. He's the WBC interim champion. Cuello, WBA interim champion. Don't know what's happening with him. Rabasi, is he even fighting anymore? Nathaniel Collins is taking some time out after the Lorente fight. I think he'll rematch Lorente next year. He drew that fight, but most what he won it. So yeah, that's where we are. 122 now. Obviously, your champion is Inoue. Tapales is keeping busy, so he's beating Tapales. He's beating MJ. Sam Goodman's fighting on the Tim Tszyu undercard in a couple of weeks against Tyler Blizzard or something like that, I think his name is. Picasso, again, hasn't made 122 in over a year. Somehow he's ranked there. Shabazz Masood at 5. The Henny at 6. Ramon Cardenas, Sebastian Hernandez, who's fighting Nakatani. Subaru Murata, and Brian Mercado Vasquez. Bantamweight now, Seiya Tatsumi's number 1. Christian Medina, he's fighting Ganair for the WBA title after he had to vacate because of injury or made in recess because of injury. Medina Jimenez is there. He just beat Yoshiki Sakai, blasted him out. Nishida's there. He's actually moving up. He's meant to be fighting Joe Angejas in an eliminator at 122. Takuma Inoue just won the WBC title against Tenshin. Daigo Higa, he's retired and come back again, so God knows when he's back. Antonio Vargas had to pull out of the Tatsumi fight because of personal reasons. He's now WBA in recess. Sakai, there's no return date on him. Jason Maloney's fighting on the upper tie on the card, and then Javier Sintram, God knows what's happening with him. But yeah, super flyweight now. Jesse Rodriguez is your champion. the best fighter in the division, one of the best fighters in the world. He's just beaten the number one. Fernando Martinez dominated him in one of the best performances this year. Kazuto Ioka's at number 2. He's moving up to bantamweight. This obviously hasn't been updated because Carlos Cuadras isn't at number 3. He's just lost every round and been stopped by Tomoya Saboy. David Jimenez is at 4. Fumilele Kafu is at 5. Andrew Maloney, who's the IBF mandatory and is sticking to his guns, is at 6. Ricardo Medellín at 7. Woodabardo Garcia, who's fighting Kenshiro in December, he's at 8. Calixto Bibiano at 9, and then Renquil at 10. Flyweight now, Ricardo Sandoval, he's meant to be fighting Galao Fire. Don't know when that's going to happen. Kenshiro's moving up. Akui's returning in December on the undercard of Daner Tatsumi. Ibuki's defending his title against Felix Alvarado, who's mandatory in December on the 27th. Galao Fire we've covered. Olasquaga's defending his title against Taku Kurihara on the Daner card. Angel Ayala, God knows what's happening with him. Tobias Reyes probably fighting Argentina again. Junior flyweight now, Canizales, he's defending against Knockout CP Freshmart. Kiyosuke Takami, he's unifying with the number 3, Rene Santiago. Then you've got Sims 3, don't know what's happening with him. His mandatory is Sebastian Hernandez. No, not Sebastian Hernandez. Sebastian Mendoza or Christian Mendoza, sorry. He just won on Saturday. Who really should be in this top 10. Shikichi Walter at 5, Reggie Sukhanov at 6, Christian Araneta at 7. Badillo's fighting Edwin Soto this weekend. Taniguchi's in the mix, and then Nonshinga. And then at 105, Collazo's your champion. He's probably going to fight Melvin Jerusalem again to unify. Pedro Tadaran at 2. CP Freshmart's moving up. Matsumoto's in the mix. Kuze, Kanoe, Ishii, Takada, Vic Saladar, and Sibanda. Right, so that was the ring ratings update for November. There'll be more content like this on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.